I'm Steve Nigro, and I lead the ink and graphics business for Hewlett-Packard. And I'll bring it back to 32 years ago. 32 years ago, I actually was an R&D engineer here in San Diego working on thermal inkjet large format. And we actually had an investigation of how are we going to bring thermal inkjet into this large format space. And basically, the conclusion was we weren't ready. So it took almost a decade before we came out our first product. So it takes time often for these transformations to take place. So the theme today is about rethink. It's about rethinking the industry. And the thing we do in high tech is we seek disruption. We want to change the dynamics of the industry. Now that's easy to say, challenging to do. And when you think about what it takes to transform an industry, kind of a simple model is two things. Number one, do you have a disruptive value proposition for the customer? Are you bringing something new to the customer? Number two, is that enabled by some new foundational capability? Because it takes some new capability to really bring something new to the customer. And when you can bring those together, you can create that rethink. You can create that paradigm shift. And you can see it happens all the time in high tech. And these are some examples of what has happened in the past among many technologies and industries. And today, when you think about what's happening with mobility, changing the industry, changing profit pools. You think about cloud. Cloud, 10 years ago, which some called a hype, today is changing the IT industry. We think about 3D printing, and we're not talking about 3D printing today. The hope to change the industry, but I would contend not ready yet. So that's what we do in our business. We seek how can we change industries with transformations by bringing that customer value proposition based on disruptive technology. So as I mentioned, I lead the graphics business, and this is how we think about the graphics business. We think about the applications, and you can go looking at this from left to the right. In a way, this is our history, how we've built the business, starting with design and working to the right. And if you look at those applications on the left, they generally are digital applications. They've already gone through that analog to digital transformation. When you get over to the right, those are the applications where we're still driving that analog to digital transformation. Those pages are analog, and we're going to convert them. And we've talked a lot about that in the past. But we don't give up on the digital markets in terms of still aspiring to transfer them. And a great example is signage and display. The other week at ISA, we announced the L300. With our third generation latex technology, that's going to change that industry away from an eco-solvents industry into a latex industry. So as Ramon noted, design is really kind of the foundation of our graphics portfolio. But there is a segment inside of there, reprographics, or technical production, that we really have not played. So when you think of the analysts and what they'll say about what's the leading technology and products, it's not inkjet. And for good reasons, because it's not ready. But with innovation, you can change that. And I'll just like to tell a quick story about how that works. The other job I have, responsibility inside of HP, I lead our ink business. And 4 years ago in our ink business, if you actually looked at the trends, the projections of what was happening in the ink business, the general consensus and forecast was ink in the office, ink printing in the office was actually going to shrink. For good reasons. As color lasers and monochrome lasers came down in price, of course that would become the preferred solution. So as a business, that put a lot of pressure on us, and we asked ourselves, how can we innovate? What can we do different? And of course we came out with a foundational value proposition with our OfficeJet Pro, 50% lower cost. And then with our OfficeJet Pro X, our first page-wide technology in the office, we came out with twice the speed, half the cost. So now, it's rewarding. The folks will say, it's a growth segment. It's gone from something that's shrinking to something that's growing for our business. And in fact, generally accepted, close to double-digit growth in the office is the projection for ink. So you can change the industry, you can change the landscape when you come up with this disruption. Now, how do you do it? Like I said, you have to have a compelling value proposition, twice the speed, half the cost, with foundational technology contributions. And when you think of what enabled that, it was really three things. First, low-cost page-wide technology. There's a lot of page-wide technology, and we've had the evolution, but coming up with a low-cost version to fit on a desktop product. Second, ink innovation. To be able to make that work, it's one thing to go ahead and create the page-wide print bar. The second is actually get the writing system, the chemistry to work to give you the attributes, the speeds, the quality necessary, the reliability. And then third, it's about creating a great product. You just can't have those technologies. You have to come up with a great product. And when you can do those together, you can change industries. You can rethink what's happening in industry. And if you look at today, last quarter, in the small work team low, inkjet has gone from a 0% market share to a little over 12 months later, 11% market share. So that's changing the dynamics of the industry. So that's what we do. That's what we want to do. So now we think about reprographics. We want to rethink reprographics. And leveraging what we bring, what we've learned from our OfficeJet experience of this disruptive speed with page-wide technology, kind of new value proposition, new capabilities, and bringing it into the graphic cards. Coming up with that new disruptive economics. Really paying attention to operational costs, because ultimately we want our customers to make more money. And we want them to be able to create new applications. So it's about disruptive speed, color, and cost. When you can do all those three things, you have a shot. And, as noted, the industry today is based on LED technology. And it works well, and it's why it's a solution today. It works, it's monochrome only. It gives very low running costs for those central deployments. And of course, high productivity, something you want. But it doesn't have color. And today, if you want color, you can get inkjet, which comes with an affordable hardware acquisition price, but it doesn't meet the productivity requirements to really be able to be a better solution than LED. So, rethink, what do we want to do? Kind of simple to do, to think about. Okay, let's come up with a product that can give you monochrome and color at a faster speed. Let's come up with a product and solution that comes up with a lower running cost than the products in the market. Oh, and let's come up with the highest overall productivity. Okay, like I said, that's cool. 32 years ago, working on technology for a large format, we weren't ready. So really the question is, are we ready? Do we have the tools that allow us to go after and transform and deliver on that promise? So let's go ahead and see where we are.
Page-wide inkjet printheads. They're the future of high productivity, large format printing. This is HP's first page-wide printhead, built in 1991 to test high-speed printing concepts. It taught us that we could not meet the reliability, cost, and other objectives of a practical, long-lasting, and dependable page-wide printing solution with the technologies we had in 1991. We weren't ready, but we learned what we needed to invent. In 2006, HP was ready to introduce the HP T300 color inkjet web press. HP inkjet web presses can now print up to 800 feet per minute.
For the OfficeJet Pro X Series printers, HP developed an 8.6-inch 4-color inkjet printhead. This page-wide printhead uses HP pigment inks. It has been proven reliable in an installed base of tens of thousands of printers. The print module needed to be compact, long life, economical, and exceptionally reliable.
One of the topmost particular challenges for making a reliable page-wide printhead is what we call nozzle health. For example, particulate contamination. That's a well-known problem. We build this entire assembly in a clean room environment that is free of particulates. And then we also have in the printer an environment that maintains the external surface to be generally free of contaminants.
My team draws on more than 20 years of experience developing pigment inks for HP's consumer, business, and commercial inkjet applications. Considering all the challenges, why did we choose pigment inks? Because pigment inks have the proven performance that meets the needs of printing service customers. Learning from HP's years of printing with pigment inks, we developed new formulations, especially to meet the challenges of high productivity, large format page-wide printing. It takes vision, resources, commitment, experience, and proven technologies to meet the challenges of page-wide large format printing. We're ready.